live stream, I'm going to make a sliding pull tab spinner. You saw me do it last week with my demo slash tutorial. So I'm going to do it here in real time so you get a second chance to look at what I'm doing and get a better feel for it. So here I've got my card, and this is going to be themed for the Olympics. Oh gosh, I forgot to get an image. Well, I guess I'll have to just draw it out. So here I've got my card, and I've got like different color blues because it's going to be for the Winter Olympics. That's going to start in a few weeks. So here I've got my collar with the hole in it, and then here I've got my hub, which I'm just going to cut my my two sides on. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm doing this, then be sure to check out my tutorial video. There should be a card attached to this, and also I'll put a link down below to those videos, or just check out my channel for those tutorial and demo videos regarding the pull tab spinner and the sliding pull tab spinner. So here I've got this. So I think that you should be getting a feel for the way that I craft, and since I'm so haphazard and not so exacting, it might give you a little confidence with your own crafting, because, you know, certainly if I can do it, you can do it. It can't be that hard if I'm able to do it. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a piece of tape here. I love working with tape because it makes everything easier. I've got my string. Again, I'm using, if you're not familiar, I'm using fishing line here, but you can use a really smooth sewing thread. The reason why I don't like using sewing thread for my crafting is because it does break, and fishing line doesn't break so easily, so that's why I like it. That's that. And since the string becomes unwieldy, I like to tape it down when I'm working with it. Okay, so the way I want this to go is I think I'll make like a snowboarder, and the snowboarder person is going to spin across the page, and I want it to be, I don't want it to be tight little revolutions. I want it to be a little bit more elegant with just bigger arcs of the circle. Okay, so if you wind the string around the hub counterclockwise, is this counterclockwise? No, this is clockwise. If you wind it counterclockwise, when you pull the tab in this direction, the wheel will spin in the opposite direction. So if you wind it counterclockwise, it will spin clockwise. So 2 and 3. So I just wound it around the flaps 3 times. Need my glue. So I just, I try to, when I'm crafting, I try to stay with just basic supplies. I mean, even though I love crafting supplies like stamps and, you know, all those really great tools, I try to stay with the basics in at least the tutorials, because I want to show you that you don't need special things to actually craft. You just need your basic school supplies, and you'll be able to make whatever you want. Okay. Sorry, my voice is really not here today. I'm a little under the weather. I got a cold. Thankfully, it's just a cold and it's not something terrible. Okay, I've got my glue on there. And then I'm placing it on opposite ends of the... I'm making sure that the string doesn't touch it. And then just lining it up with the open circles underneath. And then pressing it down. I've got my cap, my hub cap. And my pencil is disappeared. So let me get a pencil. Okay. I'm just going to cut along that. The reason why I do that is that way, because my hub cap is the same size as my ring here, if it overhangs the ring, excuse me, if it I got the hiccups now. If it overhangs the ring, it can catch on the string while it spins. So I just want to make sure it's a little bit shorter than the ring. I'm sorry. Just the my cold is getting to me. Okay. So just putting glue on my flaps. No big deal. And then, so the purpose of this hubcap, again, is to keep those flaps down so that it doesn't collapse and allow the string to pop off. So let me just tighten up my string here a little bit and then get rid of these. Now I can check. This spins pretty well by itself, so I don't know if you can see that. I'll just put a little mark there. Can you see it? I hope you can see that now. So it's spinning just fine. Everything is good with that. So I'm just going to set it aside and work on my pull tab. So I'm just going to put glue. I folded my pull tab in half so that I can double it up and it's a lot more sturdy than it normally would be by itself. That way, you know, it doesn't fold up when you're trying to push it in or pull it out. But that's a personal preference. If you can get away with not having to double up your pull tab, then that's great. Go with whatever works for you. Okay, so I think I made this a little wrong. Okay, take these out. Okay, so something that I'm concerned about here. When I made this pull tab, I was trying to save paper, so I just cut the pull tab that I could get. I want to make sure that the pull tab is wider than this H on the back, because if it's not, the corners of the H could catch on it and then it won't spin that well. So either make a fatter pull tab that's nice and wide, or just cut the H down so that your shirt doesn't catch. So I'm going to cut my H down. And now it's going to look more like an I. But that's okay. As long as it's still overhanging the open circle underneath it, it should be fine. And I don't think it'll catch now. So it's good. All good. Okay, so now that I have that, let me just make sure. Okay. Actually, I could do this right now. I could just fold this around. So this collar, this spinner is actually going to ride up above the card, because I noticed that the spinner is really, really sensitive. If you have paper that's pressing down on this while it's spinning, it actually will jam up the works, and it won't spin that well. So it's best to just keep it above and floating by itself, and then it'll be happy and you won't have problems, or you'll have less problems. So here I'm just going to make sure that this is centered on the pull tab, and then wrap it around the back. And it's not going to be perfect. That's okay. I'm just loosely wrapping it, trying to make sure that even if it's really loose, it's fine. It'll be okay. Mostly because I made such a narrow pull tab, but the width of my ring and my circle here is so much wider than the pull tab that there's a lot of space that I can travel on, which is fine. It'll still work. It's fine. Okay, so now onto my card that I'm going to put it on. So, should I put it on this? Maybe I should put it on a white background, because that way the pull tab is not, the spinner and the pull tab are not a different color, and if it's all the same color, it looks nicer, I think. Okay, so here, let me just cut out the same kind of size. Okay. It doesn't seem like it's going by fast enough, but I mean, if you think about it, the spinner is already done, and this is just making the slider. So I'm going to put it in the middle just because I can. Well, let me think. If I have, yeah, I'm going to put it in the middle. That way the snowboarder can go all the way around. So I'm just going to use the edge of my pull tab here to mark out its edge. And then since this thing is actually longer than the pull tab is wide, let me get another, yeah. This is about, I guess, 50 centimeters. I mean, yeah, 5 centimeters, which is 50 millimeters. Just fine. No big deal. I'm gonna make a little notch for my finger to be able to pull, and then I'm making a pull tab slot so the pull tab can pass from the bottom back up, and then I'm making the top of my channel here about 1 centimeter in. So this is the channel that this will travel in, and then this is the top of the channel. So let me go ahead and cut this out, which is the, 1 2 pull tab slot. Way too narrow. Okay. I'm not cutting that well. Kind of interesting when I'm sick. I don't really craft very well. Okay. I'm gonna cut this guy out. Okay, good enough. So from here, about a centimeter in from here, make the channel bottom, the channel top, and then I'll cut these two channels. Try to be straight. We don't really want unhappy channels. We want it to be nice and smooth and catch free. Again, the idea is so that there is the least amount of friction, some directional guides, however, and that's accomplished with a channel, but try to minimize friction and, you know, pieces of paper catching so that the spinner can slide down this thing rather smoothly. Okay, and that. Okay, so now that's all cut out. I'm going to use the back side because it's prettier. No, it's not prettier. Okay, I'll just erase these. I figured with the Olympics coming that you might want to make a card for your favorite athlete, or, you know, and send it to them. I think that would be really cool. I think that they like that. On the last Summer Olympics, I remember I saw this special where they had interviews with like the gymnasts. I think it was Simone Biles who had who was talking about these care packages that she received from fans and how touching it was to receive all the love. So I figured, you know, you might want to, if you see something like a pop-up card like this, I think that they'd remember that and they might really like it. So here we go. Okay, so now to put the spinner onto the slider, just slip these two guys in here, flip it over. Alright, so there it is. Just so I can close this guy, I'm just gonna trim it just so I can see how everything is gonna move. Straighten that out. Is it loose? Oh god, it's too tight. Loosen it up. Loosen. Just moving the fold over so there's a little gap between the slot and the fold. So now there's a little shake in there, which is good. And I'll cut off this side. So there. Okay, that's good. That's fine. So now that that's there, let me flip it over. Let me just test it. Still a little tight. Ugh. Loosen it up on the top. Just moving the fold over a little bit. So there's a little more room. So now there's a bigger wobble, which is good. Flip that over and see if it moves. It moves fine now, which is good. Okay, so now I'll attach the string to the card. So I'll start with this side. So what I want to do is I want to pass this string through the back, and I want it to fit between this slot and these two slots. So it looks like it's about this big. Still too big. Okay, that works. So let me flip this over so I can attach it to the back. And now just gonna make a little notch here. Cut a notch. That. And then, so I don't lose track of my string, I like to just take my tape and then fold it down onto the string. So, because this fishing line is really hard to see, and pass it through the hole, comes back up. Okay, so see how the string kind of wants to catch on that notch? Just pull it down through the notch, and that way the notch holds it. And I'm going to make another notch on my anchor, and then just spin it around the anchor. Since this is the first of the two sides that I'm going to be anchoring, this first anchor I can just spin tightly on the anchor but not really pull too tightly on this side because there's no need for that. Okay, so now I'm just going to put glue on one side like this, like that, and then glue it down onto my card like that. And that's it. Okay, pull on this a little bit. There we go. Now I can cut the tail off. Nobody needs a tail. Okay. Now I can just move this to the other side like this. And cut my notch over here. Boop. Okay. Anchor. Make sure it fits. It's nice. And with this one, I'm going to go ahead and put glue on it because this one is the last of the two anchors, and the string has to maintain the tautness, the tension that it needs to spin, right? If you don't do that, the string will be all like this, and it'll bind up and get weird on you. So it's best to just maintain that tension and just tape it down so you don't lose it. And see the notch? That also helps kind of maintain that tension. Just kind of pull through that notch, and it helps keep the tension on there. Okay, so that's good. And then with this, I've got my notch cut out again, and I have the glue on it. So I'm just going to push down on one side of this, right? And then hold up the other end, and then I can like wind the string around without having to worry about losing the tension now, because it's going to stay where the tension is going to stay where it needs to be. Okay, so I've wound it around about 4 times now, and just press down on the rest of it, and there you go, it's all glued on. Oh, I lost my string. Okay, anyway. So there, let me get rid of this side of the string. I mean the tape. Okay, so I'm just going to push it to one end and attach my pull tab. So just putting glue on the pull tab because I want this collar to actually wrap in there. So let me just put my pull tab through here, through the slot, and then push down on the collar, make sure it attaches, and then glue the other side. Glue the collar to itself now so it's shut, and that's it. So now we've got this spinner. Spins really well. Okay, so now it's just a matter of attaching it to my card. So I'm going to put a piece of white behind it. Actually, I could put a piece of white behind it, then you can't see those channels. Otherwise, you can see the channels behind it. So, I'll do that. I'll do white. The other thing I could do is I could just fold these down, but they might cause friction. No, they won't. You know what? I'm going to fold these down because I can. And I'll just try to make sure that they don't cause any kind of friction with this slider, or they don't catch on anything. And that way, it's white on the back, which is what I want. Okay. Oh, but what? Yeah. Just going to cut out this section here so that there's room for the for the notch on the back side. There, this thing. Okay. Just going to trim this flush with the card. Okay. So there's the pull tab spinner, and now I can attach that to my card. I hope this works. I've never done this whole fold it back thing. Maybe it's a bad idea. Oh, I don't know. It might catch on the snowboarder, which is not good. So maybe I should leave it out. Leave it unfolded. With this out. Yeah, I think I will. Okay, now I have to fix these notches I just made. Oh man. Oh no. Okay. No worries. Everything's good. It's just crafting. Alright. Alright. Okay. So I will attach this guy to the back, and everyone's back to happy. Alright. So I kind of want to make it look like, I don't know, maybe I can have it going on an angle, kind of, so that it spins outward. That would be kind of cool, right? I don't know. Maybe for the purpose of this video, I should just leave it straight. But you could, like, angle this. You could technically even shape this now so it kind of looks more like snow, right? Let me put this on the back side. Yeah, I'll just glue the whole thing on. Yeah. So just gluing this on to my back. Again, the purpose of this is just, I'm just trying to camouflage these channels. So, because the slider is actually sticking outside of the card, it's floating up above the card. I'm going to try to kind of hide it as much as I can, or at least hide make it seem as if it's just spinning and there's nothing, you know, too obvious about the spinner. Hopefully. I don't know if that'll work, but glue it down on this side pretty flush, and then that other side I can just trim, no problem. Okay, press this down. Alright, so it's still spinning, all's good. Oh crap, I forgot to cut my thing again. I always forget to do that. Always, always, always. This is going to be an issue. Actually, I don't have to. I could get away with just like snipping this off. Yeah, okay. Alright, because I'm putting more layers of cards behind it. Okay, I'm going to put this one, I don't know, just another kind of meandering snowdrift kind of look. I'll cut that later. Alright, so I've got this layer here. This time I won't forget to trace this and cut that out. Okay, now I can glue this whole thing on, and then here I've got my card, and then I can glue the whole thing onto this, and then I have my card. I'm basically done at that point. So let me not forget to cut this notch out now. And technically I don't even need all of this blue. I could just take the top portion and glue it on. I think I will. It's just makes it easier for assembly. But it does make the card thicker, so I guess I could get away with just gluing this much of it on the back. Ooh, maybe my cold is finally leaving me. I'm kind of feeling better. Maybe it's because I'm crafting. That I'm feeling better. Who knows? Okay. At the end of this video, I still have to, one of the viewers, they asked me to tell them how somebody else made a card. So hopefully I have time at the end of this to show them how to make this other kind of card. I did have plans to cover that topic in a series of videos later on. I already had an idea of a pop-up for that to happen later on, but this viewer asked me to do it sooner rather than later, so I will. This is a different color. Ooh, it's kind of nice. It's got a different color. So I'll glue that one on too. And that card, actually, thankfully, is not hard to do. I tried to explain that it was actually, thankfully, pretty simple. So I should have plenty of time to actually work on that and show you how to do that. Even if it's only a couple more minutes at the end of this live stream. So it should be okay. This is here, this is here. It's nice. So just a variation in color, very slight. Slight but effective. Don't break on me now, Mr. Glue. Oh, I think I put that too high. Damn it. That'll go away. That will go away. I'll wipe it off. The beauty of a glue stick. So forgiving. So caring. Okay. Ta-ta-ta. I know I could probably get one of those adhesive sprays and just like spray the heck out of this. But I kind of like this whole, like, you know, manual labor thing. When you're crafting, there's something about having the option to have to, like, work with your hands more versus just having little machines doing it for you. I mean, don't get me wrong. The machines are awesome. They make everything easier. But, you know, when you're crafting, I mean, the definition of crafting is really just doing it by hand. So there's something nice about that. What the crap? What the what? Oh, yes. I panicked over this thing. It's the pull tab. Okay, that's what it's for. That's what the notch is for. Calm down there, lady. And then I'm just going to cut this edge off. Okay. Push all this junk away. Don't cut myself on my blade because that would really suck. Okay. Oh god. And I got 15 minutes and I need an Olympian. Crap. I don't even know how to draw one. I don't have any stickers. What to do? Okay, get ready for some terrible drawing skills. Ugh. Well, I think it should be about this big, right? I don't know, like that big. That's good. I guess it should have a head. That would be good. And then it should have arms. I said snowboarder, didn't I? Crap. Oh man. Okay, I guess the snowboard should be like this. Like that. Right? And then the arms are like, oh god. Okay, there's the body, and there are the legs, and then there's the arm, and then there's the other arm, and I guess the leg could be like that, maybe. I don't know what does a snowboarder's legs look like on a snowboard. Like that? Does it look like that? I have to download a picture. Be sure to download a picture. Or cut out a magazine picture. Make a little beanie. Yay. Um, this is so bad. I'm so ashamed. What are colors? I'll do red, white, and blue. Red, white, well, white. I got white. White, white, white. Okay, I'll put a blue cap on them. Blue cap, in case you're wondering what the hell that is. That's the blue cap. I give him a red jacket. You know, red. It's always the color of a jacket, right? It's red. That'd be weird to have white pants, wouldn't it? That'd be weird. I'll do blue pants. Sky blue. Sky blue. Sky blue. This is so ugly. Oh my god. This is terrible. Oh. Hands black. Hands black pen. Yes. The face could be like that. And then like that. There. There we go. Some standard mittens here. Yeah. my blue snowboard. It's kind of okay. Oh man. Okay. You know, but when you get this thing spinning, it's not as bad as it looks. It's gonna be okay. So don't worry, it'll be okay. Just keep telling yourself that, because you know, otherwise you'll cry. And don't cry, it's just crafting. It's fine. It's okay. It's embarrassing, sure. But is it fun? Yes, it is. It's very fun. So let me give him some hair here. All right. Hey, he doesn't look that bad. He's okay. It's supposed to be a he. I hope my eraser doesn't ruin it. I hope it does what I want it to do, and that's just erase the extra little marks I made. Pencil marks. No! Oh, God. Don't ruin this for me, eraser. Okay. Now I can cut them out. Doo-doo-doo. Cutting my snowboarder. Can cut all that smudgy work from the eraser, and then you're all good. God. Okay, I got 10 minutes left. Listen, if I run over the 1 hour mark, I'm going to just keep going until I do that other card that I promised that other viewer that I would make. And I don't even know what that pop-up is called. I guess I'll make up a name for it, just like I make up names for everything I do. But I'll make sure that I cover that because they asked me to, and I said it that I would. But I was planning, like I said, to do a series to cover that kind of pop-up. Probably around March or April was the original time frame. Because I wanted to do the spinner first. And then I have a number of other cards already in the works for my videos. Okay, so I'm going to make this white edge here just to kind of add a little level of interest on the bottom of the snowboard. Except my pen, oh, forget it. Okay, so here we are. Let me just erase my marks on my paper here. I have this handy paintbrush that I bought to wipe away all my crap. So there, I've got my snowboarder. Pop them on right there. Get my glue. How do I want them? I want them like this. Yeah. Like that. He's a cool guy. Turned out okay. I'm really proud of this. Okay. So I got my notch on the back. Look at that. Get rid of my eraser dust. Move all my crap over. So this is... Oh, holy crap. No! Oh my god. How did I mess that up? I thought I wound that. That's terrible. Well, that's a new trick. Is there a way I can do this? I don't know I can. Oh my gosh. Didn't I wind that counterclockwise? Or did I wind that clockwise? I wound it clockwise. Oh. Ay caramba. Anyway. So that's my card. I wound the string clockwise, which is bad because now when you spin it, it spins counterclockwise. Or, wait, what? Yeah. So, just so you know, you should fix that. But it does spin, and it's a nice smooth spin. I mean, you could do this like all day long, and it won't break. And that's the key, is to have this slider, have the spinner sitting up on top of a slider. That way you can get that effect. The only problem with that is now you have to kind of hide this out in the open by just camouflaging the colors, and you know, because the mechanism is right there. It's like on top of the paper, but it does this really cool effect. And if you embellish this right, it hides the and you camouflage this whole mechanism. The effect is distracting enough that it won't ruin the effect of the card. So that's that. I wish I wound that correctly, but next time you'll know to check for that before you actually finish it off. Okay, so on to that other card that someone asked me to cover. I've got only a few minutes, but I should be able to do it. Okay, so I have a card. Where are my cards? Oh, well, I'll just make a card. Okay, so let's say I have this card here, and she wants something, or he wants something that is only on one side of the page. So it's not going to be propelled by the crease inside of the card. It's going to be a standalone. And you need a piece of paper that's nice and long. So I've got, let me just cut this so it's long. So this is about 12, I think this is 12 inches long. That is 60 centimeters wide. And then what you want is kind of this zigzagging effect. So first fold it into 3. So it's kind of like the same steps that I've been using all along to make a key. If you watched my other videos, you'll see that on some of them I actually make a key, like the changing pictures blinds video. I made a key in there. And that's essentially what this is. It's just a key. And then you take the sides and you fold them into themselves. You know, you kind of zigzag it. Should have made this side longer. Oh, that's annoying. This side's a little bit short. Kind of wanted it to be longer. Well, let me try this again. I have another piece here. There we go. I'll be a little more exacting at this. So I've got my ruler. It should be 30 centimeters. Well, it's a little longer than 30. I'm going to cut it at 30 just so I can have an exact amount. Okay. Cut off my marks. Erase my marks. And then And the 30 divided by 3 is 10, and 20. Right? Yeah. So 10 and 20. And then this side is going to be half. Half of 10 is 5. Try to be as clear as possible here. Half of 10 is 5. So I'm just folding this to that 10 centimeter mark. See, it's the same steps as before. It's basically folded into 3, and then you take these two sides and you fold them in half down that line there. And when you fold them in half, they meet in the middle. Well, they should meet in the middle. Like that. Okay, I'll just flatten all this out. Okay, so now they do this. What the added dimension in there was something inside that was like a strip of paper. Just get a strip of paper, please. Just get some colored paper here. There you go. You can kind of sit inside that. And that was about this, I guess. I'm going to put it edge to edge, just because I can. Well, I guess not. I'll do it the way the sample that was shown to me was made. So it was like that. And then, so it rode along like that. So I'm going to just flip this over. That. Get that where I want it. Okay. So I'm just going to make it like this, because I can. Alright. And you fold this down, and you cut this out just to the edge there. To the other side. There. Cut that. And then you take this side and you push it in, and that, and you bend it inward. What's this? Oh, I cut them too deep. Oh, who knows? I cut them too deep. Great. Awesome. I'm so cool. Because see how it overlaps now? Oh, it's terrible. I should have cut them more shallow. So let's try it again. I need a really long piece of paper, which I no longer have. So I have this strip. I have some strips here. Aha, found one. All right. So what I say was like 10 centimeters. I'll just use this one. Need to cut off an edge. I remember that. Oops. This is, by the way, this is how I figure stuff out. That's just the way I work. 10 centimeters, which is 100 millimeters, equivalent to 10 centimeters. So right there. Once I got that, then I'm good. Right over. As long as you get those folds in, it doesn't really matter which way you're going to fold it. As long as the end product is about the same, then you should be good. So here, this time I'm folding it this way. Folding it back, and now you've got that, and now I just need to get my 5 centimeters because we want to be exact for the video. Otherwise, I would just do that 3-fold thing that I did at the beginning. So that's normally just how I craft. But I want to get this right because you're watching. But also because somebody asked. Okay, so there we've got that. So the mistake I made was I made the cuts too deep because I was making them equivalent to what this is, but I don't have to do that. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to yes. So what happened here was these were equivalent, somewhat equivalent squares, but when they folded over, they would fold over to exactly where the other one was. So I don't want that. I want half that distance to get to half. That halfway point would be where this closes. So on the back side again, just lining these up so these look equivalent somewhat. And then I'm still going to make the marks, but this time I'm just going to make them about 1 centimeter to 1.5 centimeters long. What I really want is about 1/4 of the size of this distance. So this is 50. So it'd be around, you know, I'm sorry, 5 centimeters. So this would be around like 1.5 centimeters is the height of this thing. Less than 1, actually. Less than 1.5 should be. Okay, I don't know my math right now. Hold on. 5 divided by 4 is like 1.2 whatever. 1.25. So 1.2, that's very exact. I'm just going to do 1 just to make sure I don't run into any problems. Okay, that 1 centimeter mark is right there. Okay. Now that I have that, I'm just going to cut up to that line. The other side, cut up to that line. And this time I'm just going to fold it. So up to that line, just so I'm sure that it's going to fold over. Okay, do the same thing to the other side. Okay, there we go. Okay, so before it was opening like this, and now I have this lovely piece of awesome. I just basically poked this inside, like this, and then closed it. Now I have that. So now I kind of don't like that. But if I had made that, I divided by 4. I should have divided by 2. But anyway, if I divided by 2, it would have been 2.5 centimeters in, would have gotten me exactly to half. But that is as far as I'm going to go here. And this was supposed to be like a ribbon. There's my ribbon, and I think it said something like "I heart you." So I heart you, like that. And glue this in there. And push this in, I think. This will work. Okay, and then just put glue on this thing here. And you fit it inside of your card. This. Now you have this, and it says, "I heart you." My glue didn't stick, but basically that's how you do it. Come on, glue. Be happy. So that's it. That's how you do that. But mostly this video was really about the sliding pull tab spinner, and this is for the Olympics. So I hope you liked it. I hope you learned a lot. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I'm pulling it weird. I hope you like this, and because I'm pulling it upside down, it's getting weird. And that you learned from it, and you learned to make sure that you're spinning this in the right direction and that you have your image. But basically, that's how you make that. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't lose track of me. If you liked what you saw, check out my other videos on my channel, which is Square Type. I try to do pop-up card videos. Share this video with your friends, and give me a like or dislike, or just leave comments below and let me know what you thought. Thanks for watching. Bye!